are recording live. We are here on an emergency birthday edition. Happy birthday, Jordan Carlos.
Thank you very much. Guest. Thank you very much, Kevin. Honored to be here at Open Tabs. Honored to be with my brother here in his home on the third floor, in the lair, in the furnace. Yeah, where you guys just kind of belch out these great ideas, and I'm excited about it. And that's what's up, man. I'm in the hit factory. Feels good.
Hey, it feels good to have you, man. Joe, big brother.
Hello, brother. I feel like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man sitting in this or away.
I thought you up when I thought of the thing I feared the most, and it was Joe in a white sweatshirt
and a cowl, and a Holocaust cowl.
There's nothing in my mind. Of course, Zeddemore has to have the worst. Zeddemore has to have the worst.
Yeah.
There's nothing in my head. Yes, you thought me up. That was very good. You're throwing the fastballs early.
Hey man, look, we got good company tonight, man.
You gotta. Hey, whatever you got, bring your stuff. Keep it all 5-7 innings, whatever you got.
So we're convening tonight. It's February 2nd, which is in America known as Groundhog Day.
Yes. And at my home, known as Jordan's birthday.
Exactly. Yes. And that's the far more important because Groundhog is frequently wrong.
True.
I had a poor attempt at humor today. I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook feed. I said that the Groundhog said we'd have 5 more years of COVID.
I did see that.
I thought that was actually very funny. I like that. I'm sorry, I can tell you to your face that I liked it.
Some of my colleagues were not very enthused about it. This is not a joking matter. I've entered the gallows humor stage of this pandemic, so
sure. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. So we are going to talk about our I think this is, I don't know if he's our favorite actor, Joe, but
he's in there. He's top 3, 4 for me.
We love him.
Yeah,
we love him. It's Bill Murray.
And, third time in like 6 weeks. We're talking Bill.
We started out with none, and here we are. We love Bill. Fast. This is a Bill-friendly podcast.
It is. As most things should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Murray.
I found out some interesting stuff though. In my brief cursory research. Bill's not liked by everybody, and
not on this set either.
He's a bit of a curmudgeon, but Groundhog Day, man, is a fantastic movie, man. 94. That's when a lot of
93
because it was in the
it goes to my story
award season.
Yeah, it goes to my story.
Okay. So yes, a lot of great movies coming out then, and it kind of almost could have got lost in the shuffle, but did not at all.
Good timing actually. Good timing.
Excellent timing. And this movie endures. It's much like a Christmas Story. It has a day on a cable channel where you will see it for 24 hours, and I think that is about as good of a flex as a movie can get.
There's only so many, right? It's a Christmas Story. The Godfather for some reason. The Godfather's on AMC. Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life will air the same day every year, but it's not like 24 hours.
NBC kind of put the kibosh on showing it ubiquitously. So
true, right?
Jordan,
please.
This is your birthday, man. How do you feel about this movie?
How do I feel about this movie? I'm very proud of this movie. I think this is a great movie, and a lot of groundhoggers feel the same way.
Do you all meet?
Well, my brother-in-law is a groundhogger.
That's true,
which is great. I also call out groundhoggers on Groundhog's Day because it's such a laughable holiday. People are always like, "Oh, Groundhog's Day," blah blah blah. Laugh, punchline here, but that we were almost, fearful. It's a closeted holiday. You see what I'm saying? It's a closeted kind of thing, and there's a lot of shame. But let me tell you something. I'm proud of this movie because this movie, we only got one at bat. Do you see what I'm saying? We have one at bat.
Yes, it's very true.
And we like Harold Ramis took off from the foul line. You see what I'm saying? Like just dunked on so many. Christmas gets every year you get a chance.
The whole channel,
Hallmark channel. You know what I'm saying?
2 months.
Valentine's every year, another at bat. Like yes, exactly. Hallmark, Netflix has gotten into the spirit. They have a whole category and subcategory. And Groundhog's Day is better than 95% of those movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Think about that.
I agree. Yeah.
There isn't a St. Patrick's movie that I would watch.
Boondock Saints, does that count?
Okay, all right. Saints. Maybe Boondock Saints, but that's about it.
That's pretty strong.
It's pretty strong.
It's a little stretch. It's but
Boston, but we could call it one. But to your point, I feel you. It's not called St. Patrick's Day.
Right. All right. No, and this movie does in fact knock it all the way out the park. It's in the canon. I mean, like it's on lists for best movies of all time. It was on the best of the 90s. Like, I mean, it's a great movie. Joe, first time you saw this movie?
1993, Lakewood Theater in Dallas, Texas, in the cultural enclave known as Lakewood. It's one of the old time movie theaters, much like the Plaza in Atlanta, where I was supposed to go last night, but I didn't. And also, or the Fox with a balcony.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Captain Blood.
What'd you say?
It's like where they went to see Captain Blood in the 20s.
Oh yeah, Captain. Yes. So or a double bill. Captain Blood and the Blob.
Captain Radio. You've been inside all day.
Or Michelle Classic on Saturdays, and we could finally go see it. You know what I mean? Michelle Triple Bill.
Yeah.
No. I saw it at Lakewood Theater, and it was outstanding. And Murray was on fire. Mm-hmm. Always been an Andy McDowell fan since St. Elmo's. I know eventually we're going to have a St. Elmo's conversation.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Ding, 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 ding. We're going to eventually have a St. Elmo's conversation. Thank God for David Foster.
If you guys want to see me and Joe disagree, wait for this one.
Oh my gosh,
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think you think I like that movie for different reasons than I actually do. But back to that. So I saw it in '93. With JC Adamy. That's who I saw it with.
JC Adamy.
Yeah, Dr. JC Adamy. Well, now she's Dr. JC Adamy, but that's who I saw it with. And yeah.
Very good.
I don't know the new last name, but JC Adamy.
So you were 19.
I was 18.
18, my bad.
93. I just graduated from the Lake Hill Preparatory School.
Yes.
In Dallas, Texas. So it was probably June or May. It was May, June, 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jordan, I assume since he was on a date, as it were.
Yeah. I don't think I saw it in the theater. I think I saw it like on HBO later on. I was maybe too young. Although I think it was PG-13, or was it R?
You were 14 at the time.
Yeah, I just
was 15. You were 15.
I just wasn't messing with it until it showed up on cable. And then I was like, wow.
Jordan was an early adopter of like the producers, Zero Mostel, the producers, when he was like 15.
Eighth grade,
which he's, in 93, before Nathan Lane. So
that's the original.
Broderick, probably,
right?
Probably before Broderick.
They probably had seen it before.
But that's what Jordan and his friends were watching. So Groundhog Day was probably a little too lowbrow.
Sure. I mean, we're watching Kurosawa, the 400 Blows,
for his AV Club group. The Banes of, also known as the Banes of my existence.
Sure. Diabolique, things like that.
At the time.
When did you very Max Fisher? I'm getting a lot of Max Fisher vibes here.
They were very Max.
I caught it on HBO. I wasn't into it when it came out. I had a lot of things that I enjoy. A lot of elements I enjoy. Chris Elliott. I was an early adopter to Chris Elliott from the Letterman days. Yeah. The guy under the chairs, or what was this? Is like the guy under the seat, something like that. Anyway,
they loved him though. They when I say they, like Hollywood,
Oh,
Cabin Boy.
Cabin Boy.
Yeah.
I wasted that $6. Good.
Was it a waste? No,
You see Cabin Boy?
It was schlock. Yeah, I agree.
That's my opinion.
I'm standing for my man Chris Elliott. But for whatever reason, I didn't see it until the HBO run. I actually was not a huge fan even during the HBO run, but I tell you who was and who got me into it was my sister Nina. This is a Nina movie. Nina has seen Groundhog Day as many times as I've seen The Big Lebowski, and
this is so interesting.
Nina absolutely loves this movie, and her love of it made me revisit it maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
and from there, I've watched it probably 50 times. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's like you're living in the movie itself.
I sometimes feel as though I am living in the movie itself, and this week has been that week. So yeah,
this week has been that week, and I think I've seen it. I've probably seen it fully through. I've probably seen like 25, 30 times, but parts of it. I mean, there was a time it was on TBS, man.
Yeah.
TBS or TNT.
Yeah,
constantly, and definitely today. But constantly.
Yeah.
And so you could play it with any crowd. Sage can sit there with me and watch it. It's particularly on network television. So it's one of those, it's one of those films.
Or so you think, until he throws himself violently from a tower.
Right. Well,
there are parts.
You get. But I really meant on the bounce up arc. I really meant when he realizes the good he can do.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, and so. Like that's one of the things about this movie that, like, on the surface it's a Bill Murray comedy, but it's so much more, so much more. And like you can get into these arguments, which I don't recall doing so in college about this movie, but I'm sure on some college dorms and some college floor, people are having arguments about the philosophical ramifications of this movie and like the religious ramifications of this movie and what does it mean? It's all that from and I think Bill Murray to kind of segue into the research that I think both of us kind of did. Bill Murray wanted it to be more of that, and Harold Ramis wanted to be a little less of that. He wanted to be kind of lighthearted, romantic comedy-ish. And they unfortunately came to an impasse about it.
Right.
And this movie ended their friendship of 20 years. They didn't talk for years until Harold Ramis died.
Right. Yeah. And they supposedly they broke the ceasefire happened when he was very sick.
Yeah.
And Murray went to see him or called him or something like that. But I remember reading articles about it, and it's interesting. Ramis is Ramis, and for those that know, obviously he's a writer and beloved, I think, in that regard. I don't even remember seeing him in a film after As Good as It Gets.
He was in
I don't remember. But what else was he?
Not This Is 40. He was what's his face? His dad.
Oh, that's right. He was in Knocked Up. He was a dad in Knocked Up.
Yeah.
For a day. He did a day on Knocked Up.
Yeah.
He did a day. He did a day on
very, very delightful.
He was. I'm very happy. I'm very total opposite. But I think their careers went. I mean, I think Ramis, obviously he enjoyed a wonderful career, but Murray became like a deity after this film and continued to make good choices. I thought, by and large. Continued to make some really good choices, and then went into like another stratosphere for comedy that we hadn't really seen. And then he took some other chances with Lost in Translation and other roles, and just skyrocketed into crazy superstardom. Wherein now he's making money off of a character, like a 40-year-old character from Caddyshack, because they have the clothing line, William Murray Golf, with all the Murray brothers. Yeah. So it's kind of wild when you think about it, how he could do that. But he's got some marketable properties. Like this film here.
It's funny, like the different Murrays, the different Bill Murrays, to kind of to your point, man. Like, this is a transition point for him. And I think that like one of the articles I was reading about Harold Ramis and some of his comments about the making of the movie, where that was that this intentionally almost launched him into a different stratosphere, and was kind of testing his chops because I think they wanted who do they want for the part? They wanted Kevin Kline, I think.
I could see that.
I can see it.
Yeah,
Works.
it definitely would. It definitely would have been a workable movie. But you know, that's at the same on the same token, it wouldn't be the movie we're talking about today. I don't think.
No,
Absolutely. Kevin Kline is, I mean, he's an Oscar-winning actor, right?
Yes.
He won one of the few actors to win an
For
Oscar
comedic
for
role.
comedy in Fish
Yeah.
Called Wanda.
Yeah,
So I could see him doing all that and kind of having that manic energy.
yeah,
But it would definitely be like the manic energy rather than the kind of more Bill Murray and organic thing that he brings to his performances. You know?
yeah. I mean,
I could see Klein in that though, in an interesting kind of way. But he was in Dave in the same year,
yeah,
and kind of had to pull a everyman. I could see it. I just can't see him being mean, and
that's the
I,
thing.
I think that would have been my concern with that. But Murray obviously has that.
He's got that.
He's got that pitch in his.
corner.
Yeah, he's got that pitch in his arsenal. So, but I could definitely see. I think they're both intellectually sound, I guess, in a sense, in the way they would approach that role. That would be interesting. I don't know. I think that would be pretty. That would be pretty interesting. But
at a time, a lot of the same energy, actually.
Yeah. Sure, that's true. Jordan, Joe is on record for his love of Andy McDowell.
Okay.
Do you share that sentiment? Are you an Andy McDowell fan?
I mean, I think Andy McDowell is fetching.
Okay.
No doubt, she's in movies.
Uh-huh.
But I think that her acting can at times be wooden, and that sometimes detracts from the performance. There's this thing where she was ethereal, like in St. Elmo's Fire, where being wooden was kind of great because she was just a little aloof, and like, Emilio Estevez wanted to be with her, but she was just like, there was no there, right?
Yeah.
There's no core. She wanted to be with this hunky hot guy or whatever.
The idea.
In this, she kind of like, I don't buy that she's into poetry. I don't buy it. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. Why wouldn't Phil want to be with her? But for me, she was the weakest link of the movie. Aside from the groundhog. I thought the groundhog wasn't trying. I didn't believe it.
I hear the groundhog was quite combative on set.
how many were there? Was it just one?
They found him. They didn't breed him for the movie. They found him wild in Illinois and brought him in just for the film. He apparently bit Bill Murray twice in the same location when they're driving. That scene where he takes a header.
Don't drive angry.
He apparently bit him in the knuckle. Same location, 2 different settings. Like, yeah.
I'm sure that was like, man, get me. I'm so hot right now.
He was going through a lot. He was going through a divorce at the time. He was
right.
Bill was he was not his best self, but he brought his best self on.
And when I look at it, he didn't look well.
He didn't look great.
He didn't look well.
Yeah.
But people in the 90s didn't look great to begin with.
And I was going to say that too about McDowell, about Andy. If you look back at these films, these women that were supposed to be these sex symbols or thought of as the end all be all, it was pretty. Antiseptic's the wrong. I don't know what blah. I guess is the word I'm trying.
Basic.
Very basic. Basic is
very basic.
Is good and all encompassing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you seriously, if you look back at them, like what?
Yeah,
I mean, I was watching Secret of My Success the other day, and nothing against Helen Slater, but this is who.
Hold on.
What I'm saying is, I remember you.
Meet me in the breakout room.
Squints Pomodoro's. What I was gonna say, Wendy Peppercorn, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
Helen Slater in that, but Helen Slater in City Slickers. Now we're talking. Now I'm with you. 3 years later, Sure, no problem. What I'm trying to say is, Andy was just kind of big sweaters. She looked like Blossom.
Yeah.
Like Blossom, the curly hair. And I think it was like the accent and all that together, because nobody was talking like her.
Yeah.
Nobody was. It's like that episode of Seinfeld with when the girl that George dated, he's like, "You're a cashier." It's that one. It was the accent. He couldn't get over the accent. So, but I think to Jordan's point, nobody looked good in the 90s.
Yeah.
You can look at the movie Dave. I think
that's a glamorous movie.
It is, and it's in the White House.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little different. But I mean, they made Sigourney Weaver.
Plainish was a thing in the 90s. Plainish and like kind of,
dry lips, dry skin.
Yeah, dressing down and
think about right now. Just think about it in your mind, like the movies that there were supposed to be these great love stories or great rom-coms. And I'm gonna talk about white rom-coms.
Yeah.
Julia in My Best Friend's Wedding.
Yeah.
Devoid of so many.
She didn't have her je ne sais quoi.
No, I mean, it was just big hair.
Yeah.
Sure. Even Cameron Diaz in that. Or something.
Slow down.
I think it's all acquired. But when you break when you get past 2000, let's say we even get to 99.
We found out about moisturizer.
Yeah, we get to 99, and then they make like The Best Man.
Yeah.
And they know how to light black people, and then black people put some clothes on us.
Right.
And our natural element and habitat, and black people, movies made for us by us.
And that stepped the game up for everybody.
You better get with it.
But
Cruel Intentions, totally opposite.
Yeah.
Totally opposite.
Yeah.
Totally Cruel Intentions. Yes.
Yeah.
I think people found eyeliner.
I can't wait. Can't hardly wait. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was just gonna say, in Annie McDowell, I mean, like, there were little moments, and this is gonna make me sound like Travis Bickle, but her teeth were kind of gray and dull, so like one of them is a little brown. I was like,
it's true. She had a Zazie Beetz thing going on.
Today would be digitally.
Yeah.
They take care of that.
Yeah.
They take care of that. So it's not her fault. It's not Andy's fault.
It's not.
She's not
unattractive, but
it's not.
What do you mean it's not her fault? Self-care. Get your teeth whitened.
What
are you talking about? You're in Hollywood.
George Washington, 37, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
George Washington.
Wooden teeth. Are we talking about wooden teeth now? Is that
no? I just think it's a different aesthetic. I think it was a different aesthetic, and I don't know. I think he kind of had a little thing.
Couldn't look like that today.
No, it wouldn't work.
I'm at my job. I am the least glamorous person on the call sheet, but I am, it's tending and preening and you know what I'm saying, like moisturize and make sure that you.
I was gonna say your situation is moisturized, man. Diddy would be proud. You're preserving your sexy.
Moisturize my situation. Preserve my sexy.
Your T-plane is there. You're very symmetric.
You got the keels right. Right
here. I mean, hey, absolutely. White coats. White coats
past that. Yes. I'm sorry. That's definitely.
No. I think that's when you talk about the look of the film. It's funny. I moderated a panel. The guys that were talking way over me. I moderated a panel today on Judas and the Black Messiah. And
everybody go see it. Everybody
should. And if you got HBO Max, February 12th, it'll be on.
All right.
On HBO Max. But I moderated this panel, and one of the things that our Morehouse brother Avery Williams was saying, he's like, man, I felt I was in 1968 Chicago on the South Side the whole time. They said the look was beautiful, the look and feel, and the faces were authentic. You know what's crazy? The faces are authentic in this. I could see him being some kind of Philly weatherman who doesn't want to schlep out to Punxsutawney, and I'm buying Murray doing that. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
I'm buying Chris Elliott. And I learned that he's out of his gourd. I learned that was my line. That was my line. How many Murray brothers in this movie?
That's an Easter egg game right there. Spot the Murray brothers. We got Brian
Doyle. Yeah, he's there.
Brian Doyle Murray.
I saw with his father.
Joel's in it. Is Joel in it?
Oh.
Joel's in it. I think Joel's in it.
Is that Up to See the Groundhog? Who's that?
Yeah, that's the guy that he kissed.
Yeah. Up to See the Groundhog? Yeah.
I
think at least two.
I would say 4.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's some cousins in there too. It's got to be.
It's not like Scrooge. Because in Scrooged there were like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
In Scrooge. But just wondered.
Well, no, Joel's not in it. So this is interesting. Man.
No, Joel's not in that. Joel's in One Crazy Summer and Scrooged, but he's not in this one. I don't know why. Like I don't know what he was doing. That he didn't come do this.
It wasn't available, eh?
Yeah. So what did Ramis say? How many days? Wouldn't like a year and a half?
Yeah, so Ramis is kind of varied on it, depending on what you read, because initially, like, he got into the argument. Initially, he said it was like a year and a half. Then he got into an argument with somebody online, and he was like, well, it's 10 years. And then the person, like, hey, actually calculated out some kind of formula and said it was 9 years. And so they got into one of the first Twitter beefs
really? Wow.
about that. And then like he started thinking about I guess he had read Malcolm Gladwell or something and saw about 10,000 hours to master something. And it's like, well, all the different things he mastered had to be about 30 to 40 years. And then it went so far as to say 10,000 years. So I don't 10,000 is a bit much.
Where do you want to land?
I want to land right solidly at like 35 years. I think 35 is.
My God.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, in ways it is sci-fi, right? The storm, the storm knocking him back, and like the I guess the power.
That wind is powerful. The autumn wind.
Yeah, whatever magical powers were in the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, at the end of the day, this is definitely a philosophical kind of like help me out here. There's a philosophical
morality
clinic,
players.
right? Like where it's like they're thinking about like this is literally just hell, right?
Yeah,
it's hell.
Sure.
So I wonder how long he was trying to kill himself. That's if let's just say if you're saying 30 years, I had it at 2 because I the first thing I read was he said a year and a half. That was the first thing I read. He said something like a year and a half. Premiere Magazine, something like that. Or maybe no, I read it online. And because at the time I'm thinking it was 30 days or like 20, 30 days. But then later when you read that, it's like, what in the world? But I wonder how long he was truly trying to kill himself, because he tried it. I mean, he did kill himself in all those different ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say he didn't try. He was successful.
Yeah.
he just was not successful for long because he would wake up the next morning. But I mean, like, but even all right. So you take into account those things. Like he learned the skill of ice sculpting with a. He learned the skill of playing piano, not at an amateur level. I mean, he was like,
he's very good.
he was very good.
Pianist,
he was a pianist, as it were. Yeah, he took the time to know every single person in the city, every single individual in the city.
Not hard.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Ned,
needle nose Ned, Ned Ryerson, Ned the Head.
Boom. That was the best one.
Just drops him.
There's no time. Just
fed the homeless man.
Man, can we talk about the homeless man for a second? Because like I think that was, man, like he tried everything he could think of, everything that he learned. Couldn't keep that homeless man alive, man.
No.
And I think that was because like this is having just saw the movie, I should know better. This is almost immediately after him talking about how he was a god, right? Was it before or after that? I think it was after that.
I think it was after that.
It was after that. So he's got a true god complex, believes he's a god, and then tries to play God and discovers that in spite of his mystical magical powers, there's things he still can't do,
right? Still
unable to do. I think that was at least from the filmmaker's point, I think that was where they tried to tell us, like, look, this is the turning point for him. This is where he's gonna turn that corner.
Yeah.
But that whole segment is heartbreaking every single time, man. Like I
think that the music gets somber, it gets a little softer or darker. It's unfortunate, but you do see his humanity comes through, because he comes off at first like some just pompous meteorologist from Philly who wants to be in a better market that doesn't have cold weather things, and then mean to the crew, mean to the producers, and but then that shows, I think that's part of the showing humanity. And then he turns that corner, I guess, after according to you, after 20 some odd years, and catches that kid every day, does all those other things to to do some good in town. It does make it enjoyable, to be perfectly honest. I thought it did. Or the scene where he does the whole thing in the diner scene.
Yeah.
When he calls everybody out, and he's like, he da 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 da, he da da da, and he's gay. He's like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
93? We don't. We don't. The only time they even mentioned in 93 was Miss Doubtfire.
Right.
That was Harvey Firestein.
A drive-by fruiting.
Yeah, man. I don't. So who besides Bill Murray, Jordan, is your favorite? Well, you mentioned the Groundhog is not really being one of your favorites
Characters in the film.
Yeah. In the
Well,
film.
definitely. Okay, so when I did see it for the first time, I of course looked at the credits. Now, Stephen Tobolowsky, Ned Ryerson happened to be the uncle of one. Yes, say it with me, Catherine Tobolowsky, who went to school with me. Okay, fellas, that's right. So I would ask Catherine all about her uncle all the time, to an annoying point, I'm sure. She was like, look, my Uncle Steven, he's out in LA. Nobody knows what he does. We're here in Texas, okay?
He's from Dallas.
He's from Dallas. And boy, there's just something, he's in that film so much more. I mean, he's a character actor for sure, Stephen Tobolowsky, and a great one at that.
Yep.
But he did some heavy lifting in this film.
Yeah.
And minute changes. And using just kind of like the paints that are on the palette, that's my favorite. I love a Needlehead Ned. He told me to stop dating your sister after a while. Like,
you bought all the insurance from him.
Yeah, man. Like he became his best customer, and yeah. Oh, Needle knows
First
that.
step is a doozy.
It's a doozy.
That's how he got the part. He's like, it's a doozy.
But he's a great character actor too. He's done like blood, he's been the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And actually lately he's been the unassuming kind of villain in Silicon Valley and not a villain so much, but just an
malintent.
Yeah, he's got
antagonist.
Antagonist. So he's got range, but I thought he really showed it because he had to play it differently, or some variation of different every day.
Absolutely.
Every time you saw him, even though something was going to be similar, because the interactions were going to be
right. Because it's different for Bill. It's the same for them, but everything after the initial, their initial interaction with him changes day to day.
Well, this was actually this movie in and of itself. The character actors are usually unsung, but we see them all the time. And, there's very few vehicles that actually let character actors shine, like outside of like Veep, things like that, right? And this was one that did, because character actors actually have to be very good at improving. They have to give what we call diamonds in the trade, right? So every take, they do something different. They give you something different because they're just trying. Maybe they have a day on the film, but they're trying to make a connection with the director. They have a day to make a connection with the actor, the director, whoever the producer, so they can keep going in this industry. And if you watch the movie, it is littered and filled with people that you saw in commercials in the 1990s and 80s, so on and so forth. And those people, they obviously are talented actors, and every take that they give you every day is going to be different. So Harold Ramis knew what he was doing when he hired these people. It was their time to shine. I know because I've been that actor. I know because I am that actor now on a show.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on. Hey, yo. I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm on all 10 eps, but I'm the assistant. You know what I'm saying? I'm the assistant to the regional manager.
Hey, dude, that's pretty great though. I mean, to your point, these guys are all when you mentioned it, I'm thinking back to that period of time and oh yeah, okay, I remember seeing this guy from this. A lot of character actors, a lot of people going for it, as it were, and not going forward in a way that is obnoxious and chews the screen, but going forward in a way that this is my moment, but it's not I'm not taking away from
the star.
Facilitate.
They are complimenting.
And by the way, they are no less funny than the star.
Absolutely.
When you think about it, the lady that ran the B&B,
Bill
Murray can only act like you know, an ass because she's got this kind of like quaint little air about her going on.
Right.
She just doesn't know what's happening and doesn't care. I just,
Right.
just chit chat. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but just saying just chit chat is like, it's great. You know, she nails it.
Yeah.
She
The
nails
waitress, there's a lot of characters like that.
The girl, the redheaded, the woman he picks up when he asks her the question, "Where are you from? High school?"
Right. Nancy.
Nancy.
Yeah.
Wilson High. Da-da-da-da.
Right here.
Right here. That's it. Right here.
Yeah.
Small.
Comes back. Probably did that for a year. You know. Probably still, you know, making that work for a year at least. But might have gone through the crowd. You know, but I've seen her in countless things. She was a Seinfeld. She was with those guys. I've seen her in all kinds of things.
Working actors, man. Working actors.
Yeah. You do it till you break through the picture plane, basically.
Or the guy he was with, the guy out at the quarry with the groundhog. That guy, he's been in he's kind of tall. He played Pam's father.
Yeah.
On The Office.
Yeah.
That guy has been he was in Odd Jobs.
Yeah.
Odd Jobs.
Yeah.
With Paul Reiser. Robert Townsend.
Right. His hair was blonde in that, right?
Yes.
And spiked. Yes.
Wow.
And he's the other guy. And then there's one other guy. I can't think of his name right now, but with Reiser and Townsend.
But if you
and
peel
Jake
back,
Steinfeld.
If you just peel back the layers, you would find that most of these actors probably were Second City actors, right?
Yeah.
So they were
was where they came out of.
Second City improv actors.
Yeah. So Chicago influences everything.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Reese.
Del Close and all that. And you're getting that improv. That's what you're getting.
I appreciate the Reese shout out. And I know Reese probably appreciates the Reese shout out.
Yeah, we need the Second City. Chicago strong. Coming Chicago strong.
Chicago, man, it's a hell of a town. So Michael Shannon makes his debut in this film.
Okay, you just got me. What scene is Michael Shannon one of the guys at the quarry?
Michael Shannon is the dude that gets engaged and married.
Really?
In the diner,
I know my rights.
He introduces them as the guys getting engaged, and then later on they get married, and he gives them some WrestleMania tickets.
Yeah,
and that's my man Michael Shannon. Not looking anything like himself.
Nothing. He's still not. Does he have like a creepy brow or anything like that?
No creepy brow. He doesn't have the acromegaly.
He had to be 21, 20 years old.
Yeah, he's a veritable babe in the woods in this movie, man. He's a young spry Michael Shannon before the Iceman.
Shannon was in.
Michael Shannon, man.
His lantern jaw hasn't come in yet. Is that
no?
He only made two.
Jaw. I think that some things that had to have happened to him that had not happened as yet.
My God, I thought his thing was in Pearl Harbor. I knew he was in Pearl Harbor for like a minute before he got blown out of the sky or whatever it was. But that is
blowing my mind. I didn't even know who Shannon was until honestly until Bad Boys 2. I didn't know who he was until Bad Boys 2. And in Bad Boys 2, like Jordan said, I guess at that point he's a character actor. I never saw Pearl Harbor. I was at Morehouse. We weren't watching Pearl Harbor. We were invited to go see it at Phipps.
Yes.
And got the
that
time
down.
stuff. Yeah, no, the screening filled up.
Oh,
and so we couldn't go. So I was so mad because we went up there on the train to go see it in the summertime, and we had to because you remember the train got off at Lenox. You had to walk up to Phipps.
You had to walk. Yeah, you had to. It was.
And by the time we got there, like, no, I'm sorry, there's no more room.
Yeah,
like, there's no more room.
It was not an easy walk to Phipps from the MARTA station. So
no.
Yeah, man.
I think it maybe was designed that way, my bro.
Hey,
something about it seems so discouraging.
It's like in DC, you can't take a subway, you can't take the metro the train into Georgetown. It is a foggy bottom, and you must walk the requisite.
I wonder why they designed it that way.
The requisite 15 blocks. There's no. It stops there at GW Foggy Bottom, and then you got to walk the rest of the way.
What would you? What? Let me ask you, Cal.
Okay.
I feel like this movie definitely seizes the imagination. How would you fare in a similar situation?
I'd be doing the same things as a matter of fact, I know I'd be doing the exact same things, and I lack for personal growth because I've pretty much been playing Red Dead Redemption for the past 2 weeks, and doing the exact same things in that game. I can't progress in the video game. So I'm sure, like I'm content to go and hunt a perfect cougar pelt, you know? So for me, I don't know if I would have been much better. But then again, I mean, 35, 40 years, you know, assuming that timeline, or even a year and a half, who knows what kind of growth I would have had. But I don't know if I would have done the same thing. And I think my motivations would have been a little different. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much time I would have spent obsessing over Annie McDowell. And you know, I mean, no offense to her, but there was some other lookers in that town for me, you know, and he had his way with them as well. And not to say that having your way is the end all be all, but you know, that is, you know.
But it's the question of whether it was heaven or hell, right? So it was like, in ways, at the outset, it was heaven because there was no consequences and things like that. But then you see that no consequences is also hell.
Yeah.
Or no way out, no exit, Jean-Paul Sartre. What about you?
I'd be fine. I binge shows. I pretty much eat the same thing every day.
I'd be fine.
It's like Jim, you know, Jim Halpert has the same sandwich every day. You know, he comes to work, or Dwight Schrute, or Seinfeld's apartment. You know, cereal and fruit. I mean, I don't. You know, or the Peach Pit. Dylan always drinking coffee. I don't think that was. There you go.
Wow.
There you go. I don't think that.
You hit those buttons, man.
I'm trying to. I don't. I think it would be difficult though.
Hot ref.
I think it would be very. I think it would be very, very difficult at some point to continue to do the same thing over and over every day. But I think they're. I don't know. I think I could do it. I think the quarantine, I think in many respects has helped us understand.
Boom. There it is.
I do.
There it is. I'm so glad we got into that point, because look, the quarantine is very much. I saw my fair share of quarantine and Groundhog Day jokes today, and you know, I mean, I think people have kind of turned into this movie a bit. Like, you know, people have picked up habits, good and bad. Peloton has you know, in our circles, you know, the Spellhouse circles, the Spellhouse riders, you know, it's crazy, man.
There's one right over here.
There's one about 10 feet away from me. Right now. There is. Promise. But I you know, I watched the movie Locked Up. I think it's what it's called, or Locked Up, or Locked In. It was on HBO Max recently. About Lockdown. Excuse me. With
get that right preposition.
With what's her name from The Thing that time, and Ejiofor, with Annie
and Hathaway
and Chiwetel Ejiofor. I think that's how you say. I don't know.
No, you nailed it.
Okay.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, and Ejiofor, and they were great. I mean, there's only like 6, 7 actors in it, but there's literally a Groundhog Day type of vibe to it, that they were pretty much doing the same things every day in the house, or on the rare occasions that they go out of the house, that they're doing similar things. But I think there's some amazing parallels that one can draw,
right?
In that regard. But I think there's a warmth in this film, and I think that's Ramis.
Yeah.
But I think there's a warmth in this film that's obviously Harold Ramis, and in spite of himself, Murray too.
Yeah.
Provides a great one of his. I think it's one of his best performances.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do. Even though he had a lot of help, because there were some great actors, you know, that were not, phoning it in. People were, except for in Jordan's opinion, and I looking back, sure, Andy, it is what it is. But it wasn't about her. But I think, oddly, why was she the key? Was she the key to him getting out, or was it? Or was it his nobility, his growth or nobility? Because he would get really close.
His growth allowed him to be in her world. She definitely shut him out when he was disingenuous, and you know, when it became real, then he was into her world.
What about that night though that it got really close? You know what I mean? That one night,
snowball fight.
Yeah, the snowball fight, and then he tries to recreate it. which is a classic guy
I
move.
love that. You guys, oh my God, you rascals. Yeah.
Like, oh, you crazy guys. Throw the ball to the kids.
Yeah.
I think he was almost there then, but I think he still had some of the ulterior motive.
So he couldn't trick the universe.
He couldn't trick the universe. The universe had to become one with the universe.
Harold
And he didn't
Moore.
become one with the universe until he was truly altruistic.
Yeah.
And I wish my medical students, I should assign them if they did the things I asked them to do, which they don't. I would ask them to watch this movie and really pay close attention to his growth and to his motivation for why he's doing the things that he's doing for the people in the city. And when it got to the point where he was just doing them because it made him feel good, that was one thing. But then when he was doing them because it was the right thing to do and because it was making the city thrive, and he became one with the city. And like at the end of the movie, he's I want to live here, and like he for going from what he felt about Punxsutawney at the beginning to how he felt about that city at the end, that was the growth there. And so when he allowed himself to do those things, then he opened himself up to finally being able to live in her world. There's an alternate thought out there that she was also in a loop. I don't know if anybody's did you run across any of that?
No, I didn't.
Some people believe that she was also in her own loop, and that he was a part of hers. So
that's what we call Russian Doll, and that came out on Netflix. So like I think that probably crossed the minds of the writers at some point. Why not have them? Why not just have this multiplicity of loops?
How would they tell each other? Then they forget, but they don't forget anything. They live it all every day. Like they remember all those things every day.
Right. So maybe I don't know, man. I say all that to say that, like, he definitely came to it truly and came to it genuinely, and I think that's what made him ultimately come out of the loop.
What's awesome also about this film is, like, not only did you guys have been describing what they call in screenwriting the 6 problems. The 6 problems are established pretty much right away in this movie. He's selfish. He wants to leave, right? He wants to leave not only Pittsburgh, where he is. He wants to go into green pastures. And he's sarcastic. And by the end, he is the opposite of all these things. But they establish it pretty well right away. And also, I was just going to note that this movie still holds up comedically. The comedy is like, after 5 years, you just never know, but it's still funny. Just like Ghostbusters was still funny. Yeah. And just like Stripes is still funny, and I think that these kind of things, that's the shame of it, is when Ramis and Murray split up, they actually had comedies that would endure, that are.
Can you think about that? Stripes is 80, Ghostbusters 84, 85. This is 93. What did we lose? We could have had, man. Yeah. We could have had, wouldn't Raven start like 16, 15, something like that?
About that. Yeah.
We could have had all kind of that's 20 some odd years of films that we didn't get to have. Yeah. Because they fell out in this film during the making of this film.
Yeah. I mean, and really, like, I mean, you read into it what you want to read into it, and I know every story has 3 sides.
True.
From what I can gather, Ramis took the high road in a lot of these situations. He was definitely very gracious, and maybe he was doing that to, a lot of times in the narrative, because we've been around situations like this before. The people that come off as the good guy in the narrative really sometimes are not the good guy. And Murray
Halpert.
Right, exactly.
You think Jim Halpert is not a good guy?
No. Dwight Schrute's a good guy.
Dwight was definitely good. I mean, Jim delighted in torturing Dwight for Dwight's not innocent, but he's a good guy.
No, but Jim, I'm not saying Jim's bad, but he's not the good guy.
He's not the good guy. He's not the good guy you are led to believe. Right. And so I say, like, a lot of times people are quiet and hold on to the real reasoning as to why things fall apart in relationships and other things like that. So they're willing to be the bad guy and keep their silence. And I think that, I'm just postulating. I don't know. Bill Murray might just be an awful guy. But I think that sometimes it is the case that the person thou dost protest too much. The person that is always speaking and kind of lifting up that other person really is kind of compensating for something at times. And I think that may be what the case is, because obviously, like they said, that he reached out to Bill Murray for a role in something that he had made, and Brian, not even Bill, Brian politely told him, like, no, we're good. He doesn't want this role, and doesn't want to talk to you. And like,
wow.
So he maintained, and usually I find as a grudge holder, I find that when I'm maintaining my grudge to that extent, there's usually something in it that is very dirty, that has not been cleaned.
Look, creative people make messes. Okay,
Yeah.
we love galleries. We look at the painting in a gallery and not in the studio.
Yeah,
You love the taste of the sausage. You don't want to know how it's made. Both Harold Ramis and Bill Murray. Bill Murray, of course, has substance abuse problems, and then a number of marriages falling apart. Blah 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 blah. But what was created was this kind of gift to the world, where he's now his own kind of like genre. You know what I'm saying? It's like Liam Neeson. He's his own genre. Yeah. But like,
same guy who was in a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah,
is now the or two Woody Allen, one or two Woody Allen movies.
Yeah,
is now like the
last guy you want to piss off.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, like so. But I was just gonna say that
for
Harold Ramis had a baby with Amy Eckerling. Heckerling.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Heckerling,
clueless,
out of wedlock, had a love child with her, right?
Yeah.
She did Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I happen to know Harold Ramis's daughter. She's a comedian, and like we were just, she told me this whole story, and she said she went to go meet her sister. Harold Ramis brought her to the hospital to meet her sister. So let me tell you, cuz some people ain't good. They ain't all good. All bad. You know? But they made messes.
We don't know these people. That's the take home.
Harold Ramis just wears glasses, man.
I trust, just like Larry David trusts Leon a little bit more when he's wearing the glasses. I trust the black man in glasses. I trust I
was gonna say this too. Those boys were on top of the world.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. I don't say that in like a light way or anything like that. Yeah. And I'm talking like those boys were on top. Those boys were literally on top of the world.
On top of the world.
Like literally.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, what you want to do next?
They were considered the funniest people in the world at one time, and whatever they wanted to do, they did. Yeah. And it was beloved.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, unfortunately, comes some, not invincibility, but you feel you're not necessarily accountable
invulnerability.
You're not necessarily accountable for your actions.
Sure.
And I think that was definitely the case.
Sure.
Probably with Ramis, but and definitely with Murray. I mean, Ramis, you didn't even really see, bruh.
Yeah.
He was writing. So Murray's original cast, second season, Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Give me a break. Come on. Like, no.
He's been special for a long time.
Yeah. So and despite the acne, growing up tough in Chicago with the 4-5 brothers, or Cicero, whatever the part of town they were from, despite all that, now he's the one.
Yeah.
And everything they do is golden. And then he makes Caddyshack, which is, white cult film classic.
Right. White roots.
White.
Emmy.
Total white, like the antithesis of his upbringing, right?
Yeah.
But they're making fun of it. But it's beloved by those people.
Yeah, no,
then he goes to, then they do Stripes together, in like St. Louis somewhere. They do Stripes together, Kansas City. They do Stripes together, and at that point,
no third act.
It's over. And then and he's with crew, and he's Belushi, like. Yeah. Aykroyd, like they're the funniest jokers in the world.
Yeah, they were holding on to a comment for a while. They definitely
just doing whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah,
just doing whatever they want to do. And I can see where you gonna lose. You might not be the nicest person.
Right. You're not going to be the nicest person. You're going to be mean, and people are always want to joke with you all the time.
You know, I'm not trying to, in the words of Kanye, I ain't trying to mess up my what do you say? My representation. I'm not gonna mess up my. If you listen to Last Call on College Dropout,
a lot of jewels being dropped on that song.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We could do an episode, a mini episode on that song.
We should.
Literally on Last Call, but
yeah,
I'm talking to my brother who's a thespian. All right, so I'm not trying to mess up his representation, but you know, he's been on a lot of sets.
Yeah.
He's met a lot of people, knows a lot of people, met a lot of people, worked with a lot of people.
It's true.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what we see, hey, you know, some of them are great.
Yeah.
Some of them are great. Some of them, no,
not so much.
Not so much.
And the glasses are not invincibility shield.
They're not an invincibility shield. No. You know, Danny Duperstein.
So Danny Duperstein.
to kind of close this thing out, man, because this is
I want to ask you a question.
Sure, go for it.
What are your top 3 Murray? Before you close it out, top 3 Murray.
Top 3 Murray, man. It's tough.
I know it is. That's why I asked the tough questions.
Zissou.
Oh yeah. Hey.
The Zissou is Steezy is he's probably number 1. You know, okay. I find it very difficult to knock that off its perch.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Ghostbusters, just because he was doing so much, he's
all the lines, every line, all the lines.
As much as I love Caddyshack, he's not my favorite part of Caddyshack by any means. So I'll disqualify that. I love Rushmore as well. Herman Bloom is a favorite, but I'm gonna have to put Groundhog Day as number 3.
Got it. Okay,
that's my 3.
Okay, so I love him in of course Rushmore, and I really thought he was great in, and of course Groundhog's Day. I mean, these are all, we're like, this is like his best, and also I think it's a tie for me between Ghostbusters and Lost in Translation.
Okay, I can respect.
Those are bookends.
Yeah,
the 84 to whatever that year. Those are kind of bookends.
Respect the hell out of that. Yeah.
For me, it's I love Broken Flowers. I think
why.
I think Murray is probably closest to who Murray is.
Okay.
In that film.
Okay.
And I like a Jarmusch quiet.
You like Jarmusch?
I like him in that. I like Jarmusch in that.
Okay.
Jarmusch's direction in that. I thought Jeffrey Wright was great.
If you like Jarmusch, I got some other stuff you should watch.
Okay. Well, I might have seen it, but I'm ready. But I really like Broken Flowers is not number 1 for me, but I like Broken Flowers at 3 personally.
Okay.
For me, you know, Stripes, I think he's throwing fastballs in Stripes, man.
Yeah.
The whole time. And he's throwing haymakers in Stripes. I mean, in Stripes. I mean, he's on fire in Stripes.
Yeah.
And he looks so believable. Because he just looked believable.
John Winger?
Yeah, as Winger. Lee Harvey. I want to party with you. I want to party with you. Okay.
His friend trying to make it with the cow.
I'm gonna party with you. You and me together. Forget
it, cowboy.
Right. So
you're wild.
so I think Broken Flowers. What did I say? Stripes. And then I love this power. I think this was a powerhouse. I mean, he carried this thing on his back.
Yeah.
But I think he also carried Ghostbusters on his back.
Yeah.
And I think he also. But I probably have to look at. I love the subtlety and just the range of emotions in Rushmore, because Herman Bloom, and which we've all mentioned Rushmore, by the way.
Yeah.
But Herman Bloom was everything good and everything bad all at the same time, and so a cautionary tale and a role model all at once.
Yeah.
So you know, I dug it.
I forgot two real quick. I want to give shout outs to, because I What About Bob is a personal favorite.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say What About Bob. I really or Kingpin. I'm shocked you didn't say
Kingpin is the other one. Yeah,
that's like a Calvin movie. That's
Kingpin is more of my Woody Harrelson movie than it is my.
But still, that's like Calvin. That's a definitely you.
No, it's definitely no.
The ball with the rose in it.
It's a wink. It's a wink to your love of Lebowski.
It is. It is a wink to the Lebowskiisms. It's my man Randy Quaid. Jesus.
Hey, when he's on, he's on.
Odor eaters.
What's
I watched The Paper the other day. I was watching The Paper. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've seen The Paper. I think we talked about The Paper when we were actually working on The Paper.
Why would you watch The Paper?
I love The Paper.
It was a movie, but
because I worked in the college. I worked in a college newspaper, and that's what I thought we were going to be doing this. I thought we were going to live this way.
White Ghost.
Jordan, we put in our Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours in the Maroon Tiger office there.
Our feeble little attempt to
can smell the ink
at journalism.
Yeah.
You pounded the keys. We pounded the keys.
We pounded the keys, and more importantly, we downloaded a lot of music.
Kill those computers. Just kill them. Faraji had an album called Faraji's Ice Blue Sex Folder. And the thing was, there was no sharing. It wasn't shareware, so he could only listen to it there. It wasn't like he could hear, and he didn't have any headphones. It wasn't like he could listen to that music in some other.
There's no cloud.
No. Apple had yet to make anything where there was a cloud, so it was kind of pointless.
We were listening to, if Raj wanted to listen to Fiona Apple, we were listening to
Fiona Apple. No, it was Mirrorball. It was Sarah McLachlan, Summer 99, Mirrorball. I bought it at a tower, and I listened.
Jordan, I think that says everything about where we were.
We were listening to Mirrorball and Isley Brothers. It's called like Isley's Live. And he's like, tonight we're gonna do them all. We're gonna do all of the songs tonight.
Yeah, I had it on it because they do the last song is You're All I Need, and it's the gospel version of You're All I Need.
Or the Fight the Power, which is like a 20-minute version.
20-minute jam session. Yeah, man.
Well, all right. I just remember Joe coming home and blasting Sarah McLachlan in the car. Ice cream, and I was like, I don't know who
better than ice cream.
This Negro is.
It's better than anything I'll ever find. That was the funny thing Dedeaux would say to the people at CAU, because he took his film classes at Clark. He's like, y'all think y'all know these guys at Morehouse? It's like, y'all don't know these guys at Morehouse. He said it might be some cash money one minute, and it is gonna be. He said some white girl named Sarah McLachlan. They played some white girl named Fiona Apple. They played this because Jonathan played Elliott Smith.
Yeah, my contribution, Jordan. Two contributions,
please.
A lot of Outkast, but also some Bjork. And
wow!
Corey put me on to
it all. Hey,
Corey put me on the hyper ballot, and once Corey put me on the hyper ballot, it was over.
But let's put it this way: it's two sides of the same coin. Andre 2000, 3000, and Bjork.
Very similar. Very, very similar. But I have seen it all. Was like that, and then Raj brought in Robbie Williams' Millennium.
Oh my gosh. The quintessential Raj.
Hey, that was the jam. Living life in Belleville. Yeah. And then every now and then Tash would just to anger us, we play a little Backstreet Boys for Tash, and he would do the full
everybody, he would do the dance.
It was
Ain't No Lie.
No, you are my. It was Backstreet, not
You Are My Fire.
Yeah,
I want it that way.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, look. Say what you want. The beginning of that video is the exact same. Them walking through the airport slowly is the same as Mo Money, Mo Problems with the fire and Diddy and Mace. It's the exact same thing.
Parallel.
They stole it from them.
Parallel universes.
And all on what was Carson Daly's show?
TRL.
All on TRL.
Yeah.
Payola, which later you realize is such payola. How is the Star Wars theme the number one song on MTV in summer '99? Duel of the Fates.
What?
How is look it up?
We didn't
How
know.
was Duel of the Fates the number one song?
We didn't know how close we were to the fourth wall.
Total Request Line.
That's different. TRL. Yeah. Well, I guess it was Total Request Line. But who you can never get through.
Yeah.
You can never get through TRL.
It was like the box. It was like, like you try to order your song on the box, but the record company had already ordered 98 Degrees ad nauseum. So you weren't gonna see you weren't gonna see the Chip Drill video on
I had no, you weren't. I
ordered Jeanne.
I had a Groundhog Day poster in my
sure did.
in my room at Howard. I had a dance with, because I was going to be a film major, right? So I had all these film posters and like a Cypress Hill, a Cypress Hill weed black light poster.
Of course.
It was so cliche. It's just,
did you have any markers floating in some old vodka bottles or anything like that?
No, but I did write on the walls to try to make it do the thing, to turn the black light on. I bought a little black light marker and it worked for like a week, and then it, then it died. But
then you don't want that black light anymore.
No, you don't. You got to see.
Well,
that too, or that too. You can see a lot of things. Yeah, it's a very old dorm, built in '54.
Yeah, you don't want to see.
Yeah,
it ain't the Hilton.
Paint only does so much.
Right.
These walls could talk, and they are. Like, listen,
right.
If these walls could talk.
Guys, let me wish Jordan a happy birthday, and let me say something real quick to you, man.
Please go.
I was in the barbershop the other day, and my barber shows me a clip. He's like, "Hey, you need to watch this." Shows me a clip from the Drew Barrymore show.
Sure.
I'm like, "Yo, I know a writer for this show." It was the clip of the young men who were selling the cookies, and they brought some cookies for Drew Barrymore. They were doing a remote interview with him, and they ended up doing a deal with Slim and Huskies, which is a restaurant here in Nashville.
Wow.
And they have one in Atlanta too, right?
I got to take you to Slim and
Yeah.
Huskies.
These brothers, TSU brothers, based out of out of Nashville. They initially started with a moving company, and then built this restaurant, Slim and Huskies, which became a phenomenon here in Nashville, like lying around the block in the hood.
In Atlanta now too. There's at least two now in Atlanta. There's one by the AUC.
Yeah, it was our Slutty Vegan. So the way the lines were,
okay.
And so they're in Atlanta, they're in Sacramento, and so these young brothers are going to sell their cookies at Slim and Huskies through the Drew Barrymore show.
Oh wow!
And I say like that was my end was like, yeah, my buddy's brother Jordan is one of the writers for the show, and he's in the industry. You've seen him as we started talking. Of course, my favorite thing that you've done, and you've done a lot of stuff, but enduring, my favorite thing is the Daily Show, or not Daily Show, Stephen Colbert, Alan.
Sure, man. Black friend.
I know you're sick of it, man. But
no, why would I be sick of what launched me? I can't be sick of that.
It's to this day. To this day.
Hey.
The funniest, I laugh every single time.
If that's what happened, then I'm so happy about it, man.
We're still talking. What was that? 05?
That was 05, man.
It was King Day 05.
Yeah, it was wild.
06. Yeah, it was King. I was at Fogo de Chao,
snatched out of obscurity,
having remembrance, our annual dinner called Remembrance, lunch called Remembrance. We were at Fogo, and Jordan called me, said, "I'm gonna be on the Daily Show tonight, or whatever, Colbert tonight." I was like, "Okay, well, I gotta, didn't have a DVR."
You had no idea.
And Smyrn's Austell, but I watched it.
Oh yeah.
I watched it. So and any other time that Alan was on, then shortly thereafter you got MeTV. That's right. It was big for us. It was,
yeah, man.
Huge.
We thought it was kind of like when Kevin Hart on Comedians in Cars Get Coffee. He was like,
he's like, playing.
Yeah. No. When he said he had $250,000, and he was like, okay. Everybody gets a car.
Everybody gets a car.
Mom, you get in the house.
Yeah.
Like everybody, we're good. We're good.
We're set.
We're set. But just thinking about the career and the work, you got to put in the work and
yeah, man.
And it shows up. On the screen, and obviously these people put in the work for Groundhog Day. And Jordan and I have a conversation about how long it takes sometimes for an idea to hit the page, and then from the page eventually to the screen, and then even when it's good or to be recorded, and even if it's in the can, it might not even ever be seen for a very long time. So that's another.
For instance, little things, which is out in theaters now, was initially written in 1990.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was listening to.
And it is not good.
Yeah, it's very polarizing. I have a really good friend whose movie opinions I trust implicitly, who swears by it, and he is the only person, because everybody else is like, oh yeah, this it's not a good movie. I'll see it on the strength of Jeff Jones, but
I mean, I tried to give it a little time, but it was just like it looks like a police procedural.
Yeah.
And the camera is like on sticks. It's 2021. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Give me some false light. Give me some Michael Mann. You're in Los Angeles. It should be terrifying.
Los Angeles.
I should be terrified to go out my door.
I like when man shoots LA. It always seems warm.
He loves LA
and yellow.
You can tell.
Man is like, I don't trust this town. I trust this town as far as I can throw it. Michael Mann puts a lamp against a tree at night, and you like terrified. It's like, that's it.
But that's a strange. He loves it though. That's his muse. LA is his muse.
He knows what LA is all about. He knows it is a terrifying, scary place.
Seedy.
Yeah.
He finds them.
Random Costco parking lots.
Bro, I know this one alley that from Collateral. Remember in Collateral, Tom Cruise kills those Nazis.
Yeah.
I know that. I've taken that alley before.
Oh boy.
Never walked it. It's by the Roosevelt. Never walked it, but
wow.
no. I think about that sometimes.
Wow, man.
I mean,
anyway,
very authentic.
Nonetheless, it is hard. It is very hard to bring an idea to screen. It is even harder. It's hard to make a movie. It's hard to make a good movie. Yeah. Groundhog's Day is a great movie.
Yes.
You know, and they gave us 3 great movies, Ramis and Murray.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I got to say.
Yeah. And that's about all you can ask for, man. That's about all you can ask for.
Shout out to all. There's a couple people born today. In addition, of course, to of course, shout out
the Groundhoggers. The Groundhoggers.
The Groundhog.
Punxsutawney Phil himself.
Shout out. Punxsutawney Phil born on this day? Was that?
We'll just say he was.
Okay.
There must have been a groundhog that was born on this day.
Sure.
You know?
So when I opened Facebook today, it's 11 people whose birthday is today. That's not my brother. So that would be 12. So I'm going to shout out, even though they may never listen to it. I'm going to shout out my classmate. Sam Beresford.
Yeah.
My favorite Morehouse man. Class report. Sammy B.
First everything.
Yes. First everything.
Enduring memory.
Dr. Maya Edie McCarthy.
Okay.
Dr. Talithia Williams. Young Jacory Bernard, who's 22 years old today, and he is a member of the Morehouse College class of 21, one of our great student ambassadors. Damon Smith, Morehouse 98. One of Jordan's great childhood friends, Daryl Jones, the greatest track athlete in the history of University of Miami, and forever a national champion at the University of Miami. Daryl Jones. Ken Manus, who went to Morehouse class 2000. Captain Paul Parker, Morehouse 10. Captain Paul Parker in the U.S. Army. Saba Long, Brinkley Ruffin, Morehouse 98. Carmen and Calandra Harris, who are twins. Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
Twins from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Carmen has a restaurant in Maine.
What?
Yeah, I gotta get the name of it. Yeah, she's got.
Let me know.
Like she has a restaurant.
Yeah. It's
hers.
It's her restaurant.
Carmen who again?
Her name is Carmen Harris.
Harris.
I'll find out.
It's a lady of color.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
With a restaurant in Maine.
I promise you, it's in Maine.
And knowing it's probably the bomb.
I have a good feeling it's good.
We'll make the journey.
Wow.
They got special rates because we're the only ones out there. We go there every summer. We're the only ones out there now.
Hey, so, that's fantastic. Yeah. That's a murderer's row of birthdays, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of birthdays. It's just today.
I had to look and my cousin Skip. Happy birthday to my cousin Skip. But
happy birthday, cousin Skip.
Hey, man, that's
birthday, cousin Skip.
That's hey, look, it's a lot going on. Good.
Actually, 20 years ago today. I think February 2nd was a Friday. I have to look it up. I think it was a Friday. But we had there's a group of guys at Morehouse called Monastery. Mm-hmm. They had a party at Sylvia's.
I've heard of them.
They had a party at Sylvia's Atlanta on February 2nd, 2001. And I vividly recall one of them was my friend, now Maya Edie McCarthy, was dating one of the monks, and was like, "It's my birthday." I was like, "Okay." Said, I wanna. What they used to drink? Amaretto sour.
Wow!
I was like, "Okay."
What a time!
What a time!
A green drink.
It was a green. Well, she's AK. So all the AKs were drinking amaretto sour. I vividly recall.
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, well, the SGA will buy you an amaretto sour." But I remember that party, February 2nd. 2001, and I don't know why. It was I was like, it's my brother's birthday, and we're gonna toast my brother, who was probably in
at Brown.
Providence.
I was in Providence.
Probably
so I
having
remember
some bacchanalia like Bacchus wine celebration.
You are not off. You are not wrong. Yeah.
Jordan lived in a 8-story walk-up.
It's like because 2001. You're 79, right, Jordan?
No, he's 78. But he finished it. He finished in 01. He graduated in 01.
I was held
Okay.
back.
Okay.
This is gonna. I'm gonna get to the pearly gates, and they're like, "Wait a minute, hold on. Wait, you graduated when? And you're how old?
In college, you're not held back. You're enjoying another year.
Yeah, he wasn't held back in college. Nothing held him back in college.
Nothing held me. Nothing was gonna hold me back.
No, it was
I was trying to get out as soon as
grade
possible.
between kindergarten and first grade at the Green Hill School called Primer. There's a level there, and he went to Primer. Many of the Primer kids
to save your feelings.
Yes.
So at the end of the year, we do the Ugly Duckling, which is about late bloomers.
Yes.
And I wanted to play. I literally wanted to play the rooster. I thought he had the best costume, but I got the part of the Ugly Duckling who changes from a black duck to a white swan.
Yes.
I mean,
man, it's so ingrained.
It's so ingrained. I was complete.
7 years old. We went over his lines over 8 years old, over and over again.
Running lines.
Ran his lines just over and over again.
Killed it.
Yeah, it was a brown satin suit. Very nice.
Oh, very. I like the dark suit better than the white.
Yeah.
As it should be.
What does that tell you?
As it should be, brother. Hey, power to the people, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, power to the people, right
So, yeah.
on.
So wait. So, but you're 79 though, Calvin.
I'm a 79. I was gonna say like you were turning 21 that year, but that was the year.
No, he'd been 21.
Yeah.
You know I've been for the last.
Penelope, you know what I've been for the last hour and a half.
Those men.
Yeah, the year of 2000 and 2001. That was a monumental. I was able to do some things legally that I had been doing for a while, and
God bless it.
God bless it all.
Under the cover of legality.
Yeah.
Please check my ID, sir. Please check my ID.
Yeah, give me all the drinks. Give me 12 in 1 hour.
There was a place, Jordan. There was a place in
Pasadena to Medina.
Yes, all those. There was a place on Far Road in there was a bar crawl type of thing on Thursday nights in Buckhead. And each of these bars would have an hour of free drinks.
Hour of power, yeah.
Yeah, the power hour. Yeah. So
free drinks for an hour.
If you would submit your business card, and all of us at the Tiger had
we had cards.
And so you submit your business card and you would say the name. If it was Joe Carlos night, you say Joe Carlos.
And they let you in. Then you can go in, and they'd have like little hors d'oeuvres on the side, little cheese cubes and like ranch. And there was times we were so decrepitly poor in the summer of '99 that we'd be there at 9, like when it opened, and eat that cheese and crackers. The cheese. And,
get something on your stomach.
Yeah, you kill it, and then we'd order beers.
Yes,
you could put the bottles like below you or in your pockets, and then you get the well drinks.
God,
and then you could stay a little when the hour was over.
A lot of degeneracy here.
Yeah. Then you go to the next place, Uranus or Mako's.
You guys are talking about like it's the Great Depression.
It was 8. Well,
hey,
all I know is
we survived.
You could get through on $5. On ones.
Yeah.
There was Have a Nice Day Cafe. They had 25 cents.
Look at y'all. Had your summers in Atlanta. Let me tell you.
You can stretch $20 for a week.
Yeah, you could definitely stretch it in Buckhead.
Jack, I used to intern for Russell Simmons for $5 a day, Jack, in New York City. You know what I'm saying? And I lived in a 10-floor walk-up in the East Village. That's right, with no AC.
Oh my God!
It'd be like Robin Harris said. I saw the devil the other day. He said, "Damn, it's hot over there, man." I had no AC. I used to turn on the tub and put cold water in the tub, and then let that evaporate, and that would be my air conditioning.
Oh man!
I was literally living in the Alienist. It was like it was so old school.
The salad days.
You can just come home.
No, you never come home.
No,
don't come home because then you're a quitter. I even got a female to come. I got 2 females to come up to that apartment. I couldn't believe it.
That's LOVE love.
Now the flip side of that, I know we're gonna go. The flip side of that is Jordan also met the world that summer.
That's true.
Summer '98, his freshman summer, he partied with anybody and everybody. Think of 1998.
Shoshana Lowenstein.
Okay, whatever.
Hey.
That was after Jerry.
She was left alone. She was left alone at Magnum.
Jerry was busy.
Jerry was busy.
But because he worked for Russell, he could go
anywhere he wanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Work for Russell.
Hey man, so, what a life.
It's the kid. Let the kid in.
And he got the clothes.
Yeah.
All the Fat Farm.
A lot of Fat Farm.
All the Fat Farm.
Oh, I can get you Fat Farm. I can get you Fat Farm tees. Okay, let him in. You hustle your way in. I'm a dancer, baby. I'm a dancer. I'm out there making moves for you, Vincent.
That's great.
I hear. What was the brother's name?
Yeah. My brother gonna beat you at 2 a.m.
At BJ's on Alvarado.
Alvarado. Right. He'll be there.
You be there.
You be there.
You be there.
By the time I get to Phoenix. I talked to Ricky Harris about that. He was like, he said Al was out of his mind.
Oh man.
He said,
when we do that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, when we do that.
It's gonna be 3 hours. It might be 3 hours on Heat.
Hey, we had to put it in 2 parts. If we
intermission, we're gonna tip it in.
All right, man.
Like
hey. All right, brothers. Well,
okay, man.
You hang up first.
Happy birthday, Jordan. It's great to have the fabulous Carlos brothers on here. Behaving much better than your sister that went to the game the other night and caused the ruckus for my man LeBron. Y'all
she's not. Her last name's Carlos.
Are you serious?
Yeah, last name's Carlos. Yeah.
Who? Well, this is great. No, I want to know who this is, though.
I don't. Courtside Karen is her.
Courtside Karen. It tells you everything you need to know.
Maybe she comes from another part of it. There's so few Carloses.
Yeah, she's a part of the Slovakian Carlos.
Oh, got you.
The Botoxian.
They say
from what I saw.
Somebody said the best joke was that they said she's shaped like an AirPod. And I think that says it all. So anyway, I'll leave you guys.
It's worse than the Andy McDowell.
I'll leave you guys with that, man. Love you guys. Right. This is
man.
Open Tabs production, Open Tabs podcast.
Open Tabs.
Click.